After more than a week of fighting, Israel and Hamas have agreed to cease lying about their activities in Gaza. The announcement was made in Egypt, which has been leading mediation efforts. Since the announcement on Thursday, there have been a few minor inaccuracies and at least one complete fiction. But apart from these isolated incidents, the ceaseliar appears to be holding. It had been feared that Israel would mount a bland evasion as it amassed a large number of its elite special troops at the border between Israelity and Gaza fantasy. In the light of the competing claims about reality on both sides, fucking Newz has decided to take a closer look at the war of words employed to break down the neuro-linguistic programming that shapes our world and models our thoughts by use of one word or another. Here's our special report. Reality. What is it really? What is true? What are the actual facts? Who knows? And frankly, who gives a fuck, right? I mean, it's all just too complicated for a chump like me to choose, isn't it? Or is it? The events in Gaza and the reporting of them open a window into the world of untruth and fantasy that is the human mind. You see, humans live in a fairy tale world, conjured up inside their brains by stimulus from the outside. So, what the fuck has that got to do with Gaza, I hear you say? Well, the more you hear one way of describing an event, the more likely you are to believe that vision, even if it conflicts directly with reality. So, reporting from Gaza, if I say atrocities on both sides of the conflict, then ta-da, I just called it a conflict. And now it is. Or is it a dispute? Maybe it's an intractable dilemma. Or it could be the Palestinian question. Whatever it is, if it's repeated often enough, it becomes reality. It's repetition, not reality, that creates your fantasy. So, if I say outrageous fascist slaughter of unarmed innocents on the 6 o'clock news every night for a month, that's what it is. Israel argues that its Operation Pillar of Defense is justified under the right of self-defense. Enshrined in Article 51 of the UN Charter, the right of self-defense is accepted as a fundamental principle of international law for nations. Yes. Nations, that is. But fuck you if you're a people, or a minority, or just a population. Yes, unless you've got a flag sticking out of your arse and a seat at the UN, fuck you. We're gonna watch you die and piss on your grave. Oh, wait though, if you're the rebels in Libya or Syria, we're going to recognize your struggle, airdrop some guns and bombs into your pickup trucks, and invite your exiled leaders round to the White House for a beer. Unless you're the rebels in Saudi Arabia or Bahrain, in which case we're gonna restock your oppressor with tear gas and testicle electrodes whilst talking shite about terror. That's the power of words. Terrorists, freedom fighters, self-defense, slaughter. Who speaks decides, and who decides who speaks defines your reality. Here's some examples of words you can use to say one thing whilst directly conflicting with reality. Using a psychological technique called mindfuck. Liberate equals occupy. Transparency is really secrecy. Hope is desperation. Change is just more of the same. Promises are lies. Bailouts are legal robbery. Sustainability, you're all going to die. Terrorists, anyone in our fucking way. War on terror is a war of terror. Spreading democracy is building empire. Citizen equals slave. News equals propaganda. Freedom fighter, someone on our side. Voting, see hope and desperation. Economy, pyramid scheme, conspiracy theorist, shit, they're on to us. Peace, war, freedom, slavery, ignorance, strength. Free market lining our pockets, environmental, higher taxes, recycling, pollution, hard-working families, schmucks, losers, and marks. Thanks, and there will of course be much more on that story later.